WORL.
Welcome back to the American Adversaries, ladies and gentlemen. We are, what is segment 10 of 12 in our 3-hour tour. And let me tell you something. Not only can you listen to us on the radio, you can actually watch us and see what we're doing. You can watch, Aubrey as he picks his nose, and Chris as he
Thank you very much.
Jeff, put your clothes back on in there.
You can see what I'm doing to my sister. Hi, as she's, So you can see all of this by going to YouTube and searching the American Adversaries, or as Lucas is going to get on the microphone and correct me, you can find us how?
American Adversaries TV. That's at YouTube. Type it in, you'll find us.
There you go.
Very own channel.
All right, we're back. We're live. We'll be here until 8 o'clock. And don't forget, at 8 o'clock, Armed American Radio takes over with Mark Walters, and he'll take you up until 11 o'clock. Great live radio right here in Central Florida on AM 660 The Answer and AM660TheAnswer.com. And once again, we will be here live. And I am Christopher Hart. That was Johnny Guns, Aubrey Kahn, Lucas Paris has the Periscope up and running, which we were just talking about. And it may seem strange to hear me say that Democrats want Jeb Bush to be president. But if you think about it in the long term, and you think about what kind of president Jeb Bush would probably be, he's not like his brother, but in a lot of ways he is, and that is that he's a moderate Republican at best, moderate conservative, I should say, at best. Others would, like Aubrey, would consider him to be Democratic light. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, look at what both Bushes have given us, okay? George H.W. Bush gave us Bill Clinton, right?
True.
George W. Bush gave us Barack Obama, right?
True.
Just think of what Jeb Bush might give us.
Yeah, but
Lord help us.
Exactly. That's why the Democrats, and Barack Obama in particular, like I told Sonny, Barack Obama does not want Hillary Clinton to follow him. He would rather have Jeb Bush.
But because you're going to get 8 years of a Democrat based on what we've seen after the other Bushes.
No, I think it would be a 4-year term for Jeb Bush, and the Democrats would turn it on him.
Right, but what I'm saying is if Jeb Bush gets in, after him, we're going to get 8 more years of Democrats.
Right, yes, yeah, exactly. Aubrey.
I'm of the same school as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, when it comes to Democrats wanting a particular Republican to be president. But that's the way it works. That's why I say Democrats have a better feel for the game of politics and the way it's played and how it plays out. And believe me, the perverse rule of politics number one, sometimes it is better to lose. And for the Democrats, this is one of those times.
I often get the impression that the Republican leadership is in cahoots with the Democrats.
Well,
that's number one.
That's another reason why we say politics is like professional wrestling. Yeah,
that's number one. Two, I don't believe that the Republicans are being in the majority because they don't have leaders and they don't have any leadership skills. They like to be able to sit back, point fingers, and say, "Oh, you nasty people," but don't do anything about it. I mean, take a look at what they're doing since they got into power. They've done everything that this president has asked them to do.
In essence,
and more.
In essence, you're right. They do seem to be uncomfortable with being in leadership positions.
They're a bunch of losers, and it's time to get rid of them.
Well, unfortunately so. That's right. And
I'm not passionate at all, so don't worry about me.
Yeah. Well, I think we have a chance here. We have a chance to kind of turn the tide on the establishment because, as I said, I think that they're playing this game of, it's sort of like a whack-a-mole. Put out a whole bunch of Republican candidates so the Republican don't know which one to go after, and really all you're trying to do is protect Jeb Bush. Well, of course, the way to thwart that strategy of the establishment is to get solidly behind one of the other candidates. But herein is, again, part of the strategy. When there are so many candidates, it's going to be hard for any one of them to gain real traction.
But who is it that puts up the nomination for the Republicans?
Who is it that puts up the nomination?
It's the party faithful, the big wigs running the party. It's not the voter.
Okay, all right, I see where you're coming from. Well, in essence, that's what we're saying here. They're manipulating the voting process, I believe, is what's going on here. They are manipulating the voting process to protect Jeb Bush from Democrats and from Republicans.
I mean, do you seriously think that McCain was the general public's nomination?
No, but in essence, it doesn't matter, does it? And that's what I'm talking about here. And so that's why I say, you know, the Republicans out there who are genuine conservatives, genuine Republicans, if you will, genuine patriots, they better understand how this game is being played. And I think there's one or two that do. I think that Ted Cruz does. I think Marco Rubio might, although I think he is...
He's playing both sides of the fence.
I do think that, yes. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the final pairing of Republicans for the nomination, who get the nomination to be a Jeb Rubio ticket, all Florida Gators.
Really?
So
Yep.
let me throw this out. Do you feel that it is time for the Tea Party to put up their own people, even if we split the vote and we put in the Democrats for 1 or 2 terms, so that the people that are normally voting Republican will learn that the Republicans are not on their side and start voting with their heads instead of their hearts?
If there were a quote-unquote Tea Party, that might work. But the Tea Party is not really a party in the sense that we talk about political parties.
Correct.
The Tea Party is more of a movement, and it's grassroots, and it's very diverse and segmented. And what I mean by that is the Tea Party groups, generally speaking, are pretty much independent of one another.
Correct. But
right.
Why could they not unite?
It's not in their DNA, I do not think. I do not think it's in their DNA, too.
It's not made up of just Republicans. It's made up of Republicans, independents.
I understand where you're coming from, but what I'm telling you is it is not organized that way. It would take some serious reorganization of that whole movement to have that happen. It just did not evolve that way, and it didn't really start that way.
I know
that. They call it a Tea Party, but it is not a party at all in the traditional sense, so they're not going to be able to field a candidate. It's not going to happen. But it would be a good way to sort of bring some authenticity to this process, but unfortunately, the Tea Party is not, at this present time, capable of fielding a candidate. It's just not. It's not there. It's just not. All right, let's go to Eva. While we still have a few minutes in this segment of the show, she wants to disagree with both of us. Eva, thank you for calling.
Yes. First of all, you're giving the big guys too much credit. If they were so smart as you guys presume that they are, how come we lost the last 2 elections?
You mean talking about the Republicans? I'm not saying there's... No, hold on a second. I don't believe I've ever used the comment that this is smart. As a matter of fact, what I'm saying here...
they were trying to... They had so many people, they want to protect Jeb Bush. I don't agree with that.
Well, did anywhere in me saying that, explain that strategy, say that it was smart? As a matter of fact, what I'm saying here is...
establishment felt that it was smart.
Yeah, that's right. They do. They do think that it is smart.
I disagree with you. I don't think they have that much smart.
No, but they think they have.
This is
exactly.
Right. I'm not saying they do. I'm saying they think they do.
Eva, we're all in agreement on this.
Right, yeah. You don't disagree with us on that.
No, I think it's our fault because we go to the polls and we are the primary voters, and we elect the people that are on the ballot when we go to the loader. So we can't blame nobody but ourselves.
But
Well,
Eva, it's not us that put up the Republican nominee for president.
I understand that. It's done in the primaries.
Right. Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right. And you're right, too, that we are basically being made suckers.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's why I try to educate people, to tell us, to educate you that politics this is pro wrestling, what we're witnessing here. Okay? It's not genuine. It's
I listened to C-SPAN this morning, and some caller called in about the polls.
Yep.
The only people you hear in the polls are Rand Paul, Marco Rubio. I heard this morning Dr. Ben Carson, but that's the first time. But Jeb Bush, I'm not voting for any of them people.
Well, the polls are, the pollsters are right. Yeah, the pollsters are simply trying to make news. But at the end of the day, those are the ones who are getting the attention. Those are the ones who are actually getting people's, I wouldn't call it support, but getting those pollsters to get those responses.
Name recognition?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't you say name recognition? Because Sonny said that Hillary didn't have to have that.
She's got it.
Have that.
No, she's already
right.
got it.
Yeah.
That's what Sonny was saying. Everybody knows Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Now, you may not like her, but you know who she is.
Exactly.
Right, and so she does. This is the point I was making about her float like a butterfly, sting like a bee strategy. She's not going to talk to the media. She doesn't have to. Everybody already knows Hillary Clinton.
Neither.
Right. Okay. All right, Eva. I think we're much more in agreement than you originally thought.
Yeah.
Got to let you go though, because we're out of time in this segment. But thank you so much for listening and calling. And it's